Can I video you and put you on Hackaday?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what this is that you have?
This is a 1/4 scale model of a Red Wing hit and miss cycle engine from roughly the 1880s. Basically how it was developed, the first internal combustion engine was invented by a man's name, Lenoir, who essentially woke up one day, looked at a steam engine in the factory, and then looked at a street lamp powered by natural gas and said, I think we can merge these two. Took natural gas, jerry-rigged the side valve on the steam engine to inject the gas to a main cylinder, which would be ignited by a hot tube, which was called the Lenoir cycle. Later, a man who I can't recall his name looked at this engine and thought, this is dumb and inefficient. So took yet even more steam engine age technology like the governor and put them into this arrangement today, taking off of what was called the Otto cycle, this 4-stroke intake compression power exhaust cycle we're all familiar with today, and pairing it with governor. So the way this engine works, the intake valve sucks in fuel and air mixture into the cylinder. It's vacuum operated, so the way to keep it from firing when you don't want it to is just to hold the exhaust valve open to prevent a vacuum from being formed.
100.
There's if you want to film it, there's a governor here on the side, operates on centrifugal force. When you can see it expanding as it gets faster and contracting when it's slower.
Yep.
When it runs fast, these arms hold open this displacer right here, which hold this slash-out bar in place to keep the exhaust valve from closing. But when it gets slow, it allows it to close, allows a vacuum to be pulled by piston moving back in the cylinder, and then that actuates that 4-stroke cycle and keeps firing until it gets to a certain speed. And I can demonstrate this by removing the governor, and you'll see it fire 4-stroke every time.
Yeah, there it is.
Now you said you built this yourself?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Over the course of 5 years, my dad and I put this thing together from a set of castings, which basically means we went out to a guy who sold this as rough castings, meaning shapes of iron that are roughly the shape, but are so rough and misshapen that it started out that the piston was an inch wider than the hole it was supposed to fit in.
Basically, you made it from scratch.
You had to machine the castings.
Yeah, we had to machine all the castings.
Where'd you get the castings?
I went to a popular engineering convention called Cabin Fever. There's a representative from Red Wing Motors there who was selling the castings, and we decided to buy them there.
And how long did it take you to start to finish?
5 years worth of every other weekend working on it.
What sort of special tools did you use?
I used a 12x36 closing lathe and an old Bridgeport milling machine.
Bridgeport milling machine.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
Greg has some experience with
Yes,
Bridgeport
I do.
machines.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Joseph Stoner.
Joseph Stoner. From where? Where are you from?
From Cincinnati, Ohio,
Great.
but I kind of live down the street at Wright State University more often than not.
Okay. Great.